Hello, welcome to my Pre-Algebra review series. This video covers Chapter 3, Section 5, titled Solving Equations by Adding or Subtracting Decimals. By the end of this video, you will have reviewed the processes for using subtraction to solve equations, using addition to solve equations, and in both cases, you'll be looking at real-world problems in need of a solution of each type. Please leave a like if you find this video to be helpful. Give your classmates a heads up too. It will more than likely help them, and it will certainly help this channel to be seen by more students. If you would like me to cover any of these topics in greater detail, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I read them and do my best to address each as time permits. Please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon to be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you. Let's get into it. Objective 1. Using subtraction to solve equations. In Lesson 2.5, you use the subtraction property of equality to solve equations involving integers. You can also use this property to solve equations with decimals. Remember to subtract the same number from each side of the equation. Example 1. Subtracting to solve an equation. So here it says solve n plus 4.5 equals negative 9.7. So how are we going to solve this? Well, the rule is, of course, always get the variable by itself with a coefficient of 1. Well, it has a coefficient of 1 right now, so we just have to get the variable by itself. And to do that, we have to remove the 4.5. And how do we do that? We add the negative of this, right? So we have to add a negative 4.5 to both sides. So we would say minus 4.5 plus n plus 4.5 is equal to negative 9.7, and we subtract 4.5 minus 4.5. That's from both sides. And then when we go back to the left side, we see there's a plus and a minus 4.5. So now they will cancel. And we'll end up with an n equals 9.7 and 4.5. So 9 and 4 is 13, and they're both negative, so it's going to be negative 13. And 5 and 7 is 12, 1.2. So it's going to be 13, 14.2 negative. So negative 14.2, as that's the answer that we're looking for right here. Okay, example 1, check your understanding, solve each. Just like we did before, go ahead, stop the video, try it. When you get back, we'll do them together. Okay, now that you're back, we're going to start off with A, which is x plus 4.9. And I need to get the x by itself on the left-hand side, in this case, with a coefficient of 1. It has a coefficient of 1, so I have a plus 4.9. I'm going to add in a negative 4.9, and that's equal to 18.8 minus 4.9. And when I check the left-hand side, the 4.9s cancel each other out, and I'm left with x is equal to 18.8 minus 4.9. And when I do the subtraction, I find that x is equal to 13.9. Okay, on the other side here, on the B side, we have 14.73 equals a negative 24.23. So we're going to have to add to get rid of that because we want to get the B by itself. I'm doing these all in one shot. So I'm going to add 24 plus 24.23. That's equal to negative 24.23, the original number. I'm going to say plus what I'm adding, 24.23 plus B. These two here will cancel. These 24s will cancel, and I'm left with the B on the right this time. And that B is equal to 14.73 plus 24.23. And if you add them together, B will equal 38.96. Okay? Good deal. Okay, astronomy. The communication satellite is circling the Earth. Use this information below to find the approximate distance to the satellite to the moon, from the satellite to the moon. Okay, so the Earth to the moon is 239,000.9 thousand miles. The satellite to the Earth is 22.3 thousand miles. Find the distance from the satellite to the moon. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to find out that the total distance is 239. So if we say 23.3 plus x, how about we do that? We're going to say 22.3 plus some value x. This is equal to 239.9. And all we have to do now is solve for x. And if we do that, we're going to have to move the 22.3 to the right-hand side. And so I'm going to say negative 22.3 plus 22.3 plus x is equal to 239,000.9 miles minus 22.3. And then when we resolve this, we get these cancel, and we get x equals 239.9 minus 22.3, and we'll find that x will equal 218 miles. Okay. Okay, example 2, check your understanding. Directions. A store cost plus markup is the price you pay for an item. We just went through some markup, but they're doing this a little different. It's not a percentage or in the proportion area. We're not doing percentage markups. We're just doing a direct markup. It says, suppose a pair of shoes cost the store $38.48. You pay $70. What is the store's markup? Write and solve an equation to find the store's markup. Okay, stop the video when you're done. Let's do it. Come on back. Okay, now that you're back, let's go ahead and write the equation. So what is it? We know that if you take the amount you pay, which is this amount here, and a markup, you're going to end up paying the final price, which they're saying is $70. So if I write this out, just to write it out, I'm going to say dollars, 38.48. 38.48 is what they pay for the, plus they have a markup. We don't know what the markup is. I'm going to call it X. And that equals what? When they're all said and done, that shoes are going to cost $70. So in order to solve this, we're going to get the X and solve for X. X is by itself on the left when we remove the 38.48. So negative 38.48 plus 38.48, that's the original part, plus X is equal to $70 minus the $38.48. Okay? So to get the X by itself, we're going to add these 38 and negative 38 together, and we're going to get X equals $70 minus 38.48. And if you put it on your calculator, you're going to find out that X is equal to $34.52. Okay, good deal. Objective 2, using addition to solve equations. You can also use the addition property of equality to solve an equation involving decimals. Remember to add the same amount to each side. Okay, here we go. Example 3, adding to solve an equation. Solve k minus 14.4 equals minus or negative 18.39. Okay, so what does k equal? So we're going to write, I'm just going to write it again. I like to write them again. K minus 14.4 is equal to negative 18.39. 0.39. Okay? So what do we have to do? You know the rules. We have to get the k by itself, and it has to have a coefficient of 1. It has the coefficient right now of 1, so we don't have to deal with that, but we still have to remove the negative 14.4. In order to do that, we're going to say k minus 14.4 plus 14.4 equals negative 18.39 plus 14.4. And now when we get back to looking at the entire problem, we have to get rid of the minus 14.4 and positive 14.4 on the left-hand side with the k. And when we do that, cancel them out, we're left with the k by itself. And that equals negative 18.39 plus 14.4. And now when you add these two together, it's negative 18. Don't let me forget that. Negative 18 and plus the 14, we're going to get k being equal to negative 3.99. Okay? Example 3, check your understanding. Solve each equation. We've done a few now. You know what to do. Stop or pause the video. Give them a try. When you come back, we'll do them together. Okay, so now that you're back, we're back together. Let's give it a try. So we're going to start with A, and we're going to say n minus 5.85 equals 15.25. Oops, 15.25. Okay, so in order to get the n by itself with a coefficient of 1, which it has, so we don't have to do anything there, we're going to write n. I'm going to add a positive, so minus 585. That's our original part of the equation, but I'm going to add a positive 585 to each side, to both sides. And I'm allowed to add anything I want as long as it's the same number to both sides and not change the equation. So now I've added the 585 to the left-hand side. I'm going to write the right-hand side, which is 1525 plus 585. Okay? Now I can cancel the 585s on the left-hand side because the plus and the negative result in 0. So we have n equals 15.25 plus 5.85. Okay? So now we're going to add the n is now going to be equal to 21.1 when you add those two together. Okay, how about B? Negative 10 is equal to C minus 2.6. Okay, we still have to get the C by itself. The coefficient is 1. We're going to add 2.6 to both sides to cancel the 2.6 on the right, but we'll end up with a positive 2.6 more on the left. So positive 2.6 minus 10 is equal to C minus 2.6 plus 2.6. That's where we added the 2.6 to both sides. Now that we've done that, on the C side, I'm sorry, I had a brain melt down there for a second. The 2.6s are on the right-hand side, so they cancel, and I end up with a C on the right-hand side. And that, when I add or subtract, in this case, 2.6 from 10, I'm going to get negative 7.4. So C is equal to negative 7.4. Okay, here's a real world problem. Denzel wrote a check for $76.85. His new account balance is $235 even. What was his previous balance? So let's think about that. So what do we have? We have his previous balance. That's where they want to start from, minus the check he just wrote, is going to give us the new balance right here, $235. $76.85 was the value of the check. So if you take whatever the original value was, subtract the check amount, you'll get the new balance, right? So in words, we're writing it out. The previous balance, he wrote a check. The old balance, what was the previous balance, minus the check itself, $76.85, is equal to the new balance. And we're going to let, whatever, we can let anything we want. Let's equal, it don't matter, n, equal to the previous balance. Previous balance. Okay, so previous balance, n, is minus the check, which is $76.85, was equal to, now is equal to $235 even dollars. So we have to move the 76 to the other side because we have to get the n. We're solving for n. Okay, so n minus 76.85 plus 76.85 is equal to $235 plus the amount of the check. Okay, because we had to add in the 76 plus the 76.85. So in essence, what we're doing is we're taking whatever the balance is now and adding the check back to it, and you'll get the old balance. So the 76.85s on the left cancel, and we're left with the n, and the n is equal to 235 even 00 plus 76.85 dollars, right? Dollars, everything's dollars. So n is equal to dollars. 76 to 33, 311.85. There's the solution to that. Okay, example 4, check your understanding. You're gonna go shopping. You spent $14.95 on a new shirt, and now you have $12.48 left, I guess we're gonna say. Write it and solve an equation to find how much money you had before you bought the shirt. So we're going to write an equation, and again, the money we had before is what we're missing, so we're just going to call that x. Okay, and x is what you had, and you spent $14.95. $14.95. Okay, and that's what's left is what equals dollars, $12.48. These are dollars. Everything's dollars. Even the x is dollars. Okay? So we have to get the x by itself, which means we have to add $14.95 to both sides. So x minus $14.95 plus $14.95 is equal to $12.48 plus $14.95. Oops, that's a 2. I meant to be a 5. 95. Okay, so x equals, these cancel. X equals 12.48 plus 14.95. And when you add these two together, you're going to get x being equal to dollars, $27.43.